Hello students, today we will start a new chapter of class 12, that is human health and diseases. This chapter is somewhat similar to the chapter which you have read it in class 9, why do we fall ill, if you remember. In that chapter we have understood the various causes of the diseases and the various organisms associated with it and what remedial measures are available and many aspects of health and disease. And of course when we studied about the reproductive health also, in that case also we had a certain idea about the diseases caused to our which harms our reproductive health. But in this particular chapter we are going to read in general about the human health, the diseases associated with the human beings, various causal organisms, the preventive measures, and then of course we are going to study about the immune system of our body, which is presently very much talked about because of this coronavirus. And finally we are going to study the most important thing of your age, that is drugs and its effect on the adolescent and how to overcome this problem of drug addiction among the youngsters. So to begin with, we will first discuss what you mean by health. See, this issue of health was a concern from the starting of the human civilization, because when there is an organism, the organism is subjected to the various factors in the environment that was definitely going to affect the organism's health. And if the immune system of the organism is strong enough, then the organism is capable of leading a healthy life, or else the organism suffers from the various kinds of microbial infestation. But microbes are not the only cause of disease to our body. There are various diseases which happen to us because of sometimes our diet, that means the food which we are eating is not balanced, and as a result there is a deficiency of various kinds of minerals or the nutrients that also results into abnormality of the body. Sometimes we are born with some kinds of diseases and we inherit them from our parents, and those things we suffer from in the later stages of our life. So those are the diseases which is also a serious concern. And so some diseases are associated with that of the old age. When we grow older, that time also our body shows various degeneracy, and that also results into the appearance of various abnormalities in the body. It was in our Indian Ayurveda also, people used to think that there should be a balance of Vata, Pitta and Kapha. These were the three elements which is actually regulating the human health, and if there is a disbalance between these three things, that may lead to abnormality in the body. People who had this black bile were considered to be of hot personality. Their temperature, body temperature will remain always high and all these things. But later when it was found, that is William Harvey found this system of finding out the blood pressure, how the blood pressure is to be calculated or diagnosed in the body. Then it was found that people with black bile also had a normal body temperature. So it alone is not responsible for the appearance of hotness or the temperature going down in an organism. So various factors, as I talked about, are also responsible for an organism to be in ill health. So WHO has given a definition of health, and it states that it is a total well-being of a person, his mental, physical and social well-being. And of course we have discussed in reproductive health the behavioral aspect of the health, and that is also taken into consideration for being healthy. So our immune system, our hormonal system, our neural system, everything actually regulates our health, and if there is a slightest disbalance between all these things, that leads to the discomfort to the body or dysfunctioning of the body parts, which we call it as disease. Now the common diseases which has been discussed in your syllabus, that is your NCERT syllabus, is depending upon the various microorganisms affecting our body, leading to the appearance of the various kinds of diseases. Now the diseases can be classified depending upon the microorganisms. It can be classified on the basis of bacterial disease if the organism is bacteria. It can be a viral disease if the organism is virus, fungal disease if it is a fungus, so protozoal disease. So depending upon the microorganisms, the diseases can be classified into various types. Now the first thing to be noticed about a person who is healthy and diseased is about the symptoms of the person. So the symptoms, if are noticed properly and diagnosed properly, in that case the medicines can be given in a proper way. There comes the role of a medical practitioner, because a normal man cannot really diagnose what kind of disease or abnormality a person is suffering from, because we have not studied medicine. But a person who has undergone a proper training, he or she can understand by seeing the patient or by asking certain questions, and of course by knowing some pathological reports, previous reports, that whether the person is suffering from any kind of disease or not. The diseases which are generally transmitted to a person from another person, we call that disease to be communicable disease, which is fast transmitted from one person to another person. These are contagious also. Just by coming in close contact with the person, the disease gets transferred. The most common diseases are the airborne diseases. The airborne diseases, because of the droplet infections, it comes to our body and we show the symptoms within few days, and we also suffer from the same disease. Like a common thing in your everyday life, you might have noticed about the common cold, which is caused by the rhinovirus. When somebody sneezes, the droplets are in the form of aerosols. It spreads, and if it is inhaled by the people who are around you, then this virus goes there, and it has certain incubation period. That means it lives there for some days, and then the appearance of the symptoms comes. Luckily, the common cold does not affect our lungs. It only chokes our respiratory tract. It blocks our nose. So the congestion is there, and for 7 to rather 10 days, not more than that, we generally get cured of it. So the body does not suffers much because of this common cold. But if this disease is say for example tuberculosis, or say for example pneumonia, which is caused by Diplococcus pneumoniae or influenza virus, so what happens during this type of diseases is that the alveoli gets infected, so the lungs get infected, and this can be a serious thing, and it is also a kind of communicable disease getting transferred from one person to another person. Other type of communicable diseases generally spread by means of infected food, or by means of certain vectors, or by means of contaminated water. Like for example the typhoid, which has been discussed in your book. There was a lady, Marlon Mary, and she unknowingly was spreading the germs to the people for whom she used to cook food for several years, without even knowing that she herself is the carrier of the germs. So this test was later on being found that this typhoid could be it's a viral disease, and vaccines are nowadays available. That is, TAB vaccine is there, which can be effective against this Salmonella typhi. Then cholera. Cholera is a disease which can be spread from one person to another person by means of contaminated water, or if the food is infected by the cholera germs, which is carried by means of houseflies. Houseflies sit in the garbage, and their bodies having lot of hairs or bristles on which the germs or the garbage gets sticked. And when this housefly comes and sits in your food, which is uncovered, and brushes its body over there, then the germs gets transferred to the food, and the same food, when you eat, the germs get transferred to your body. So this is also how the cholera germs can come from the contaminated food or contaminated water to a healthy person, and the person can get affected and this is caused by your Vibrio cholerae. Okay, the disease is caused by Vibrio cholerae. So these are certain diseases which are caused by that of your bacteria, and some I discussed about your rhinovirus, about the common cold. And then there are certain diseases, say for example the disease which is caused by protozoa. Okay, so a common disease is that of your malaria. Now this malaria disease, mala means foul and air, malaria, the word has come from there. So the foul air, people used to think that it's a kind of bad air because of which a person is suffering from this disease. Severe fever happens to a person who is suffering from that of malaria, periodic fever, chill and fever, a period of hotness, a period of chillness. So this actually is caused by Plasmodium. There are various species of Plasmodium. Plasmodium vivax is there, Plasmodium ovale is there, Plasmodium malariae is there, Plasmodium falciparum is there. So all these Plasmodium species are generally carried by that of mosquito. So the common Plasmodium, that is the Plasmodium vivax, which causes malaria in human beings, this is carried by the female Anopheles mosquito. Now this female Anopheles mosquito, if bites a person who is suffering from malaria, then takes up the blood, sucks the blood, and along with the blood it also takes up the various gametes from the person's body, which undergoes various kinds of changes in which the sexual reproduction part of the protozoa Plasmodium takes place in the body of the mosquito, and that is the asexual phase takes place in the body of the human beings. So the two gametes which are collected by means of blood by this infected mosquito from the person who is infected with malaria, they fuse with each other, zygote is formed, the zygote goes to the intestine of the mosquito, there it undergoes a rapid multiplication, and then gradually it comes to a stage which is called sporozoid. Now this again from the intestine or the alimentary canal goes to the salivary gland of the mosquito, and it gets stored over there. And when this same mosquito bites a healthy person, along with the saliva which is injected into the body of this person, the sporozoids gets transferred to the body of this healthy person, and first it goes and attacks the liver cells, there it multiplies, and from there it attacks the RBC of the person. So when the RBC is utilized by these various stages of that of the Plasmodium, and the rupturing of the RBC takes place, it results into release of a chemical substance which is called as your hemozoin. Now because of the release of this hemozoin, there is a rise in the temperature of the body of the person, so he suffers from that of high temperature. So this is the reason why there is a high temperature during the person who is suffering from that of the malaria. Of course drugs are there to cure malaria, that is the quinine drug obtained from that of the cinchona plant. So that's about the protozoal disease. Besides this protozoal disease, which has been described elaborately in your book, that is the life cycle of the Plasmodium within the body of human beings and within the body of the malaria, within the body of the mosquito, there is another disease which has been discussed, protozoal disease, that is called as your amoebic dysentery. Now this amoebic dysentery is caused by that of an organism which is Entamoeba histolytica. Now this organism resides in the large intestine. It actually is a place where the location where it multiplies, it's the large intestine, and the intestinal passages are blocked because of the secretions of this organism, and there is a periodic muscular cramp, there's a constipation problem, there's a digestion problem. So all these things are because of this common organism which is called Entamoeba histolytica, which causes this disease, that is your amoebic dysentery. Fungal diseases which are affecting the human health or the human beings are generally the one which causes ringworm. It causes dry patches, scaly dry patches, white patches on the body, and with some lesions. There are some variety of fungus which are actually causing this kind of problem. This includes epidermophyton, okay, and they resides in the places where there is a lot of moisture getting accumulated. It can be between the fingers of your toes, it can be in your scalp of the head. The main thing is to maintain the hygiene. So if the hygiene is maintained properly, so in that case the organism is can be, you know, effectively eliminated out. And as we all know that the bacterial disease or the fungal diseases can be effectively treated by means of the antibiotics. So if regular care is taken of those parts which are affected by that of the fungal infections, then this problem can be you know, recovered very fast. So these are the various kinds of diseases which has been discussed so far, and that's the introductory part, and then we will be taking upon the next portion of the chapter, which is the immunity, okay, and the various types of immunity, which is very much important as far as this chapter is concerned. So today only up to this much, that is the various kinds of common diseases, human diseases, the various organisms associated with it, and what steps can be taken to prevent these diseases. That's all for today.